Hi, and welcome to the summer term. Could say semester, but I teach for a few different things, so I just got used to saying term of American government, otherwise known as political science. I am Linda Bernhardt and going to be the instructor for this term. I have a few things to talk about, and I'm going to try to keep it short, but you will learn very quickly. I have a hard time with that. Um, Being that this is an online course, you tend to not have as much interaction. And so I try to do various videos because I think you should have an actual person interacting in your class. And so I attempt to do this. So this is my way of letting you know who I am, how the course is going to be run, and going over the syllabus. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and pull up your course. So this is what you should be seeing. If I did this under student view, a lot of this would disappear, and that's why I'm not doing that. I am showing you we have some announcements already set up. This welcome announcement, I guess I could update it. I've just kind of brought it forward, but it stays the same. Main thing to know is right here. You have to open the week's file in order to have access to any of the assignments. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in 1 second. Every term that I teach online for SGSC, I have issues of someone telling me nothing showed up. It won't let me open it. I have things set very particular ways. And if you don't open the week's file that tells you what we're doing that week, everything's locked down. So until you open that file, nothing's going to open for you. So it's not that you don't have work. It's just you haven't done your task of opening that week's file. Also, for discussions, because you have discussions every single week here, you will not see anybody else's posts until you make yours. That means you read the prompt and you have to actually do the work yourself. You cannot read the prompt, read what other people said, and then piggyback off them. You need to actually do your own. Are there workarounds? Do I know that there are students who will just type some random crap in so they can see other people's stuff and then go back and edit theirs? Yes. But just know it shows me that. So please do your own work. The other part is going to be about AI. A lot of people like to copy, paste, throw my prompts into an AI generator in order to come up with their discussion. Please don't do that. 1, that's tacky. 2, it's cheating. 3, when I'm reading it, trust me, you don't sound very bright. This stupid AI crap does not properly answer a lot of things. And one of your discussions is going to be based on this entire concept. And I'll show you that in a moment as well. So you need to actually use your own brain and your own thoughts. The fact that you are forced to take political science is not lost on me. However, you should want to be able to use your own brain because as we go through and different videos that I share, you're going to see what happens when people are constantly relying on AI or summaries and not actually thinking. And in my personal opinion, I would think you want to be one of the thinking people, not one of the ones that when others look, go, the heck? But anyway, I digress. Okay, so another thing I want to tell you, and again, this is another announcement that's on here, it's about the discussions. And I want everyone to know because this is a political class, we will be talking politics. So I want you to know I am not Republican. I am not Democrat. I am simply me. I have voted all across the spectrum throughout my life because I look at who I believe is truly most qualified for the job. I am extremely opinionated. I will voice my opinions. You are not required to have the same opinions as me. You have your own brain, your own stuff, but I will push you to figure out what you actually believe, make sure that what you say you are matches what you say you believe, and not that you were just mimicking what family members, friends, clergymen, or whatever tell you. Because that is a huge issue that I have found in everything that I teach, not just political science, is so many people seem to be just simply, they're raised this way, so they say, I am this. But then when you ask specifics, you find out that what they believe here doesn't match this political view. So we're going to work hard on figuring out what you yourself actually 100% believe without the names. Because if we can remove the names like Republican and Democrat, and you look at the actual parts, you would be shocked when you find out how many people are not 100% the party that they keep claiming. And this is important because you should be voting what you yourself truly feel is the right, not a person, not a party. So we will talk about this. I will not bash either side. I expect you to not bash either side. We work together best when we listen to everyone and actually open our mind. You will be, like I'm saying, you will be pushed in this one. And on a side note, anyone who does that thing of, I don't do politics. Yes, you do. You just choose to ignore it. If you live in the United States, politics dictates every aspect of your life. That is how our country works. So when you say, I don't do politics, what you are saying is, I don't give a crap what happens. And I'm just going to just go along and do my own little thing and act like I live in a bubble, but you don't. We're going to cover that throughout the term, probably in video lectures. This must read. I'm pointing out this is a summer course. We are going to cover a lot very, very quickly. Very, 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 very quickly, because we don't have a whole lot of weeks. I think it's what, an 8-week course, and typically it's 17, but we have to cover all the same information. So I'm wanting to remind you right here to be polite, open-minded, and logical. That logical is key. A lot of people seem to have a hard time with that logic aspect. Please read my comments. It may be in the discussion, or it may be when I grade your discussion, but I do leave comments. Please read them so you can help move along. Now, here's the stuff off to the side. Virtual office. If you say you need to meet with me, I am located in the Atlanta area, so I am not on campus. I meet through Zoom. So this is my virtual office. So if you want to meet with me so we can chat, it's going to be through Zoom. This is where the link is. Important papers and such. This is going to be your syllabus, information about a paper, and ground news. So first, let me show you the ground news, then I'll come back to the syllabus. So ground news. This is one of the best places to go for the news articles for you to look at. Why I say use ground news. I know you have heard, well, most likely you have heard that, but this news source is biased and this one is biased, blah, 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 blah. Yes, some are more left, some are more right, some are more dead center. Ground news tells you how they are. And so you can find all the news articles you want to look at here to see how it is. So like right here, 82% of the center coverage. So say we want to look at this one. We click here. It gives you a recap centered. And then down here, you have all these other news articles of where you can find it. And so you can actually find the other things. Here, it tells you straight up that it's leaning left. This one tells you it's centered. So this is how you can find stuff. So when you're needing to look things up, come here. Let's see. I just had a thought and I'm curious if it would do. Let's see. We're going to go to this one because it's at the top. Can I click? Oh, nope. I can't click on left or, oh, I can't click on right, but I can click left. So here I can look at the ones that say it's a left bias. Here I can click on the ones that are center. And then if there were more on the right, I will be able to click here. But why this is important, trying to figure out which one is the right way. Nope. Nope. Where was I? Oh, probably here. Okay. Why this is important is I am going to be telling you of, you're going to need to look up news sources. And I'm going to tell you, you have to look at opposite sides. So if you are right wing Republican, I'm going to tell you, you have to not only look at the stuff you normally look at, you have to look at some center and some left wing. If you are left wing Democrat, I'm going to tell you, while looking at that, you also have to look at center and right wing. You have to look at all of them and compare, because you need to learn how to use your own critical thinking skills to find what the actual story is. We live in an age where if you don't want to know it, you can very easily lie to yourself. And we're going to tax that by making you look both sides and then coming together in the middle. Okay, syllabus. This is the syllabus, and it's got a bunch of random things. This office hours thing, I just say Thursdays 1 to 2 or by request. It's mostly by request. I am not going to just be sitting here for an hour. I've tried that in the past. It was a waste of time. So now I'm just ready. You tell me when you need to visit and we will figure it out. But know that I have multiple jobs, and so I need advance notice so we can work together. So if you want a meeting with me, you have to say, hey, do you have time to meet? And then give me some options. And then I can say, ooh, I'm booked solid here. What about here? You have to respond. If you do not respond and say, yes, that is a good time for me, and then I tell you, okay, blah, 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 is that good? If you don't tell me that, then I'm not going to count that as a meeting. I have a lot of times where someone requests the meeting, they say, hey, how about here? And then they don't ever come back to the email. Don't do that. Okay. Technically, you have required text. This is it. Feel free to get it, find it. You should be able to get it at the bookstore or online. I also will provide everything I possibly can into this course. So you have every single PowerPoint that comes from the textbook here in our course. It's not the same thing as a textbook. So it is helpful to have the book, but that is on you. Not going to worry about this. You guys can read this whenever you wish. This is how your stuff breaks down. So you will have a weekly quiz. Yes, weekly. Every single week you have a quiz. If you click on quizzes and you never opened the week's file and you don't see a quiz, it's because you didn't click on the file. You have a quiz every single week this entire term. You have a discussion every single week this entire term. You have a paper you will be writing, which there will be a different presentation for that probably next week. You have 3 exams and you have a final exam. So altogether, it makes up 1,000 points. The point system is beautiful because as soon as you earn the points, they don't go anywhere. That means as soon as you have 900 points, you have an A. Even if you haven't taken the final, you've got an A. And I'm telling you about this because I award extra points throughout the term when you go above and beyond. If you do just the bare minimum, that's what you get. If I see that you are really putting yourself in there and you're doing more, like in the discussions, I give you extra points. So it is 100% feasible to have an A before you even get to the end of the term, so then you can just coast. Now, I did warn you, we go through this fast. Wow. It's like 3 chapters a week, all the way up until week 6. So you have a lot that we're covering. The paper that I will talk about at a different point is due on week 7. And then for the last week, it's just a recap and a final exam. And I will help you out with all of that. Every week, I plan to have another video similar to this, but where I will be talking about the previous week and getting you ready for the next week. So be ready for that. This is telling you about the point system I was just talking about. Big, big, big important part. I do not round. So if you have 899 points, you get a B. That is, again, because I offer more points. If you did not earn the 900 points, you did not earn the A. So if you're going to just slide off, make sure to calculate and everything. Late work, makeup work, I don't do it. You have close to a week to do everything, some things more than a week. Just do it. Pretty much it. If you are looking at the class as a priority, you will get it done. If you wait until the last minute to do the work, that's not me, that's on you. So everything opens Sunday morning at midnight, as in when Saturday turns into midnight, that's when the week opens. Go ahead and knock it out. Everything closes Friday night at 10 p.m. It drives people crazy. They get very angry. I get asked 8,027,000 different questions about this. But if you actually step back, instead of looking at it through your, not everybody, but typically people are procrastinators. A lot of college students are procrastinators. They push it off and then they tell me how busy they are throughout the week. And then they give me all the excuses why they couldn't do it on the weekend. If you look at this logically, I have forced you to take a day off because you need a day off. So by having everything closed Friday night at 10 p.m. and opening on Sunday, Saturday, you have no work from me on Saturdays. You have time off. Time to adjust to this. Just because other teachers do it that way, a different way, doesn't mean I have to follow that. I am trying to help set you up for success down the road. So there you go. All assignments must be turned in the proper location. You will have where you're supposed to turn it in. You cannot email it to me. You turn it in where it's supposed to be, when it's supposed to be. That's what all this stuff is. Also, if there's an assignment like the paper, it has to be a Word document or a PDF. That is it. So .doc or .docx or .pdf. I will not open or grade any other attachments. Also, on that, for the Word documents, it has to be an actual document, not a link to the online Word. I work for 3 different colleges who all use this stupid system, and it gets very convoluted. And sometimes when I'm trying to click on the link that people will post, it gets all with the other jobs and I can't open it. If I can't open it, I can't grade it. So it has to be an actual document. All right. This is a reminder that everything is due on Friday nights at 10 p.m. There you go. And then this is just reminders, basically stuff I have to put in the syllabus. So I don't really worry too much about this. It's just, it's here so you can read it whenever you wish. Ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, bum. There you go. And this is a reminder. Oh, I need to update that because our midterm grade is week 4. But this is another thing. Using AI, that's cheating. I try to give you the benefit of the doubt, but a lot of people are super lazy when they're using this, and then I can't. So again, make sure to always read the feedback, because the first time that I'm suspecting it, I'm going to tell you something in your grading comments. I don't do it publicly. I do it on the side. But if you keep doing it, and I am pretty darn sure, then you're going to start getting zeros. And those discussions are a good part of your grade. Okay, so let's go back to the table of contents. Go away. Okay, so it's all laid out here. So week 1. You go to week 1, this is the file that I'm talking about. So you open week 1 and it's going to talk to you. This tells you what we're doing. You then have hyperlinks to get to things. Then I even tell you the stuff. So like, you should view these things. You have to do this for a grade. You have to do this for a grade. And this one is extra credit. So literally extra 1 is extra credit. How this works, quiz 1 is your official quiz. Extra 1 is every single multiple choice question from the test bank, from the textbook for chapters 1, 2, and 3. You can do the extra 1 as many times as you want to. It keeps the highest grade. All of the questions in quiz 1 are located in the extra 1. So if you take the time to do the extra 1 multiple times, you have all of the answers for quiz 1. See how it works? When you then get to the exam, guess where you have access to all of these questions, those extras. So this is what I mean by I have extra stuff out there. Then we have these two because since we are covering, this is political science, we need to cover the Constitution and the amendments. That's literally what we're based on. And so I have PowerPoints where I've put them on here. I will have lecture videos to go with this later. But this is to show you how it works. So discussion one and quiz one and extra one would not open until you opened this file. So every week, you need to go into that week and then open the file. Everything else is here as well, but none of them will open until, see, visit the content topic, week one. You can't open anything until you do that. Now, I'm almost done with this. I have only a couple things left. So if you're sticking here, yay, thank you. Your first discussion. This is where I'm talking about Chat GPT. You are going to have to do this, make something up 100% made up by you and ask AI to explain it. So let me show what I'm talking about. So I'm going to do Chat GPT free because nobody wants to pay for anything, right? All right. So I'm going to go here. I don't want to. Okay. Maybe I'm not going to do that one. I don't want to sign in. I just want to do something for free. What does this do? I haven't tried this one yet. So let's see what happens. I am going to make up something entirely. What does a clock in the ocean mean? Okay. I'm just making something up. Literally what I want you to do. I want you to notice I just totally made this up. It gave me an answer. This one even says can have different interpretations depending on the context. Here are some possible meanings. It doesn't mean anything. I literally just made it up. In another class, I said, what does flipping hamburgers in the sand mean? And the first time I tested this out, I said, sucking ketchup through a straw. You can make up anything. They will give you an answer. It doesn't mean it's a correct answer. That is disturbing. So that's what I need you to be aware of, because your first discussion, you need to do that. And the reason I'm giving you the example now is because I discovered in my class, in-person class on Monday, people have a hard time coming up with just complete and utter random. You have to do complete and utter random. So then copy and paste what I just did. And then I'm going to point out, hey, I just picked this out of my brain. Nobody actually says this, but chat said this. I see that they did a good job trying to decipher it, but at no point did it say this is not a real saying. You can go wherever you want with it. And if you want to have some fun, you can put something in there like a fact that you know is wrong and see what comes up. But this is a very important step to understand AI is not trustworthy. So there you go. Now, down here, you will see your first post is due by Wednesday, 10 p.m. And then you also have to respond to other people. It says, make sure to follow discussion rules for full points. So let me show you that. You go to discussions. It tells you the rules right here, like right here. So you can't say, I didn't know. The rules are right here. And then also there is a rubric attached to every single discussion. So if I go here, right here, there's a rubric, click it. Oh, you're not going to see it because it's a pop-up. But if you click on this button right here, the rubric will pop up. It will show you how you're graded. There is no reason not to get full points. You just have to actually do your job. Now, the last part I'm going to tell you about this, and it's a very helpful thing to know. I can see everything. When you send me a message that says it's not opening, and I say, did you click on that week's file? And you're like, well, yes, I did everything, but it's not working. I will go onto Brightspace and I will click on your name and I will look at view progress. I can see everything you've opened. I can see what time you opened it. I can see how long you spent on a file. So do not tell me that you went somewhere when I have proof you did not. I will take a screenshot and show you. So any teacher teaching online courses should be able to look. I mean, they all have the capability. I just don't know if everybody cares. I'm insanely tedious on this, and I'll explain that in 1 second. I will always check. I really can't stand when people lie to me. I do not take excuses. It rather angers me. And I can see everything you've done back there. So if you're having trouble, make sure you've done what you were told to do. And then let me know. I will help you. But if you come in there because you didn't bother opening anything in the course until 5 minutes before it closes, don't email me and tell me that nothing opened for you, because I know what time you logged in. I know how often you logged in through the week. I know which files you've opened, which ones you have not. We have all that information here. So just do your job as a good student, and I will do my job as a teacher. Now, the last part that I just realized I forgot to do is I didn't really introduce myself other than, hi, this is my name. I'll probably make another one later to give you more details, but I will just throw out there that quick recap. I was a high school dropout. I didn't go to college until my 30s or something. Yeah, I think it was 30s. I have a whole buttload of degrees, and I have autism and ADHD, sensory processing disorder, CPTSD, other anxiety things. It's a whole slew of things. And so when you watch my things, you see me and that's why. My brain goes a slightly different way than a lot of people, but I also have this very firm core of social justice and logic. And that's where I can't handle excuses. A reason something happened is different than an excuse. A reason you're like, oh, this is what happened. How do I go around that? How do I make it better? An excuse is like you just throw up your hands and you don't even try anymore. And a lot of people, especially a lot of online students, will use this as why things aren't getting done. You will have things like, but I have a job. I have kids. I'm in sports. You also signed up to take a class. So as soon as you chose to sign up to take a course, you agreed you will find a way to make it work with your schedule. Now, if you are getting overwhelmed and you need help figuring out how to do your time stuff and your scheduling, contact me. I've actually gone to counseling for that, and I can help you plan. But do not ever, ever use it as an excuse to why you can't do stuff. If you're not getting your work done, it's because you did not prioritize it. You decided this was the extra and it didn't matter anyway. Don't do that. Everything opens Sunday morning, midnight. Everything closes Friday night at 10 p.m. You have every single Saturday off. Your discussion, your first response is due before 10 p.m. Wednesday night. So if Sunday or Monday you wake up and you go ahead and do your discussion, Tuesday you can go in there and respond to other people, respond to at least 3 people. And if you do a little bit more, you're a little more in depth, you'll even earn extra points. You could actually take the rest of the week off. So I'm not being mean by closing it Friday at 10. I am forcing you to learn how to be more efficient. You can totally do it. You've got the syllabus ahead of time. So if you want to take your time reading the chapters ahead of time, you totally can. But the assignments are locked down the way they are to force you to stay on this schedule along with the rest of the class as well. So I think that's it. Mainly I'm looking at the time. I've got to go because I need to take my youngest somewhere, and I think I've already gone longer than I was supposed to for this. But that's it. If you need anything, email me and please give me time to respond. All right. I guess that's it for now. More videos coming later. Peace out.